It is commonly assumed to derive from the Anglo-Saxon term therapy, from the Greek word therapevo, to serve, to give help, to take care of another, or better yet, with the meaning of I add value to, mean as an educational act aimed at enhancing the best potentiality of a person. Pet therapy, through a subsidiarity intervention, may improve the well-being of the individual, a decrease of medicalization, representing a great opportunity to contribute to the empowerment, the growth process, based on the increase of self-esteem, of the self-efficacy, and of the self-determination in order to bring out latent resources, contributing to the individual to consciously get control over his potential. Pet therapy is considered a co-therapy and not a substitute or alternative approach. It must be considered a discipline which can be integrated to the therapeutic activities. The animal presence stimulates individuals' emotions. Thought contrasting provokes the need of getting emotions, an increase of interest toward alter, and also what is called motivational engagement. The relationship man-animal must be activated by optimal conditions on encounter, and it is composed of two actors: the animal interlocutor that has a real active and distinctive position, and the beneficiary who changes his state or allows a changing process. It is important that the man-animal system, in this case specially prepared and trained dogs, is coordinated by a prepared and organized figure, the pet therapist. The concept of pet therapy is made more clear by the definition of zoanthropology, which is more real image of this discipline and make more understandable the desirable objectives, as it describes the zoanthropology aimed at improving the approach with the animal, his integration with the social and familiar environment, so as to get positive effects on man. By changing the behavior of both subjects through mutual status of relationship by the word applied, whose studies include consultation, pedagogy, and assistance. Pet relationship is the fundamental of the applied anthropology. We can imagine the basic structure of APR, pet relationship activities, as a triangle where each corner corresponds to a single area of the main relational figures. We have the allocation area, where there is the pet therapist depending on the area where he operates, by health workers, psychologists, physiotherapists, teachers. Mediations area, where is the animal referring, there is the pet properly trained or naturally predisposed. Fruition area, where is the user, and it can be identified in the child, adolescents, borderline boys, or individuals with psychophysical problems. We want to show now an example of pet therapy laboratory held in 2015 by Adriano Capocasale for a 6-year-old child suffering from microcephaly, a disease that provokes developmental retardation, dwarfism, hyperactivity, with impulsive and violent attitudes against strange and also own dogs. Between the desirable objectives, there are the promotion of self-control, the decrease of aggressive attitudes, establishment of confidence. Between the plausible objectives, there are the development of relational and communicative competencies respect to the dog. The prescribed dimensions are the affective, epimelectic, recreational, cognitive. The planning includes the meeting with child parents in order to observe critical areas. In the first meeting, the child was put into a position to establish an epimelectic relationship with Kiko, marking the start of parental expressions based on the attention. She was given a brush and she was taught how to brush her own dog. In the second meeting, the child was identified with an epimesthetic dimension, which bases the relation on the knowledge and the entertainment, when to be considered suitable by the pet therapist. The relationship's dimensions considered as suitable is the comic one, full of distraction and good humor. In the third meeting, the child was led to a nonverbal communication, the so-called gesture communication, which is the best form of communication. In the following meetings with pet relationship, the child has been conducted into a training camp and placed in their relation with different dogs. An hedonic dimensional area has been created with an exploratory relation. On the basis of what we said, it is possible to value that this pet therapy laboratory can produce an incentive through pets' presence, acquisition of new relational and communicative skills, establishment of confidence with pet therapists, well-being and comfort in the child, and verbal communication has been improved and expanded. Finally, an evaluation report is drawn up for setting in order to monitor successes and failures in the various stages of work. In 19 March 2015, the desirable and plausible objectives have been reached. Dogs and people involved in these projects are Leila, Orson, Blue, Tobia, the golden retriever, Eden, the Labrador, and Adriano Capocasale, the pet therapist.